see your face. For he that waits I pray. I know the Lord. And you better do on the God. He will roll the sea away. Then forward still this Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and spread, with a concrete tread we will push ahead and roll the sea away. Look here now, man. Sickness come, he will roll away. He comes, sickness away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sickness roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll all the sickness away. All of the bill they repair. Roll the sea away. 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 Roll the then forward still this Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and spread, with a concrete tread we will push ahead and roll the sea. One more time. Then forward still this Jehovah's will. Though the billows dash and spread, with a concrete tread we will push ahead and roll. One more time. Lord, he roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. Roll the sea away. Problem come, he roll it up. Sickness come, he roll it up. All the come, he roll it up. All the problem come, he roll. Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, somebody else say, rod and roll, rod and roll. Oh yeah, rod and roll, and do thy work thyself. He say, rod and roll, rod and roll. To heaven when I die, we go hear the Jordan roll. Take it on. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. He roll the sea away. All of the problem roll up. All of the sickness roll up. All of the bill them roll up. Everything problem. Yeah. He rolled. Hallelujah. Glory. Thank you, Jesus. Whatever you face this week, forward still. Whatever mountains come in your way, forward still. Yeah. Whatever, if you book your tour, forward still. Disappointment come, forward still. Woo. And if another pastor fall, forward still. After the pastor we are follow. We don't be with pastor, but we are follow Jesus. Forward still. Young people, walk holy, make the right decisions, walk right, walk holy, Ramandosia, Rakandarabasiandarabosha, walk holy, forward still, it's Jehovah's will, though the billows dash and sway. With a concrete
Ho, 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 ho!
Slay the season with self-care and unwrap the gift of wellness with Tonian Organics Natural Treasures that brings you laughter, joy, and radiance with a healthy skin glow. Give a gift of love for Christmas. The sale on all products made in December. 10% goes back to Podnadra TV, courtesy of Tonian Organics. Use access code PDTV10 on all purchase made. Visit our website or contact us at 917-55-76204 and order yours today.
Mighty God, Jamaica. What a beat of bang around Jamaica.
Beats.
Bad. Hallelujah.
Mighty God
Beats.
fruit cake.
Mighty fruit cake.
Mighty fruit.
Hallelujah cake.
Mighty fruit cake. Ooh.
And this is not no fake review. This is a real 100% review.
What a beat of bang around Jamaica.
Beats.
Bad. Hallelujah.
Mighty God
Beats.
fruit cake.
For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan road. Get something and wave it. 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 Rock and wave it. Rock and wave it. Rock and wave it. Rock and wave it. Come now, wave your hand. Wave your hand. Wave your hand if you love the Lord. Wave your hand. Wave your, yes, wave your hand if you love the Lord. And me say roll, Jordan roll, roll. Praise him like you just don't care. Just praise the God because you know what he has done for you. Just give him praise. Rock and praise him. Dance and praise him. Wave your hand and praise him. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. My God, David was one of the greatest musicians. And I hear this musician playing. Give God glory, musician. Tell them, play a little David. Play a little David. Play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Yes, play me David. Play a little David. Me say roll, Jordan. Me say roll, Jordan, roll. My God, Church of God this evening. God is good. Yes, God is good. God, for I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan. Come now, me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to do that when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to walk right in there. 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 A river Jordan a roll. 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 Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll river Jordan. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Roll bank to bank. Let the deaf man hear. And the dumb man talk. And hear when you roll. Me have to get when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to get when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Me have to get when you roll. Me want rock and crazy boy. Me have to get when you roll. Me want hear when you roll. Boy, River Jordan a roll. People make you roll, make you roll. Boy, a blessing make you roll. Yes, a blessing make you roll. Boy, are your blessing make you roll. Yes, are your blessing make you roll. For I want to go to heaven when I die. We go here when Jordan roll. Somebody shout and praise to God.
Heat life, he life, he life.
Yes, comrades! Youth and youth! Undecided voters! PNP coming again! So tell your neighbor, tell your friend! Green man I ride with like mule, and I take the nation for fall! But we have a new name for him! What him name? Eli! Bangarang! Oh, we tired of the labor pay. The drive across the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired of the labor pain. Poverty a bus we shut and we going insane. Why? Eli. At the new name for the bus driver. Eli. That's all you hear on every corner. Eli. In name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday. Eli. Hear this. Eli tell we say him a go build up the country, put money in our pocket and a end poverty. Promise the farmer them a go drive SUV. No him crash the bus, him a blame PNP, but Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. If he go sit down back in the harbor, him too lion out of order. Eli. Oh, we tired of the labor pay. The driver crash the bus and the country going down the drain. Yes, we tired of the labor pay. Poverty a bus we shut and we going insane. Eli. At the new name for the bus driver. Eli. That's all you hear on every corner. Eli. In name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli make big promise to teach a nurse and police. Promise to give them big salary increase. Promise jobs, more jobs and good economy. But no him crash the bus, him a blame PNP. But Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. If he go sit down back in the harbor, him too lion out of order. Eli. Wanna remember this? Eli from a party new on the scene. Swear say him done with the garrison and the green. I'll never go back to that. Him tell the country now him greener than green with no credibility. Eli. At the new name for the bus driver. Eli. That's how you hear on every corner. Eli. Him name a ring throughout Jamaica. Eli is a rookie driver. Him cannot run Jamaica. If he go sit down back in the harbor, him too lion out of order. Eli. On a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, on a Friday, on a Saturday, 2 times on a Sunday, 1 o'clock.
All right, partner draw, Andre, set a rat trap, set a rat trap, set a rat trap, with the 2 for the rat them, set a rat trap, set a rat trap, set a rat trap, set a rat trap, with the 2 for the rat them, set a rat trap, set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the parliament. Set a rat trap for the 2-foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap for the 2-foot. Set a rat trap in a FLA. Set a rat trap for the 2-foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap for the 2-foot rat them. Set a rat trap in the school. The one them where teeth to picking them money. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the judiciary. The one them where take money out of the table. Set a rat trap for the lawyer them. Set a rat trap. Take the people money and take them land title. And them not get no title. Hello? Set a rat trap. Partner draw. Partner draw. Andre. Hello? Hello? Me say we set a rat trap in the church. For the one them we are thief the offering. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. We must catch them. Set a rat trap in the tax office. Set a rat trap in the 2-foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap. Me say we set a rat trap. Andre. Oh my God. We are suffering in Jamaica with the corruption. Jesus Christ, you can't get them. Set a rat trap down on the wharf. Set a rat trap for the, what they call them? Set a rat trap down on the wharf, man. Yes? And set a rat trap in the airport. Hello? Hello, you know, say all here Jamaica bankrupt, but we don't know where the money go. Set a rat trap, set a rat trap. Set a rat trap with the 2-foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Set a rat trap in the entertainment. Hello? Set a rat trap in the entertainment. Set a rat trap. Let me say, set a rat trap. For those who are do contract killing. We must catch them in America, in England, and in Canada. Set a rat trap to the one them with Jamaica. To the 2-foot rat them. Set a rat trap. Hello? Set a rat trap. We must catch them. Tear off the cover and expose them. Set a rat trap. Alright, sir. Set a rat trap. Must catch them.
Greetings, Jamaica. Good night to those who are on YouTube, those who are on Facebook, and those who are on TikTok. Many things happened today in Jamaica. Several things happened today in Jamaica. And I believe as the chief prosecutor, not the chief prosecutor, as the chief defender of justice in this country, many things happened today, and as a chief defense in this country, it's my duty to try the case. It's my duty, Jamaica, to try the case. So run and call somebody and tell them that the teacher over here going to try the case tonight, because apparently some of us who get paid 300% increase. And you know why I have to do that, Jamaica? You know why I have to do that? I have to do that because there's a lot of people out there depending on me to talk up for them. There's a lot of people out there depending on me to talk for them. So, as the defender of the poor, the defender of the marginalized and the dispossessed. Yes, Jamaica, I know that I'm weary, but I remember singing a song. I don't know if you guys know this one. I'm going to sing it for you. Never get weary yet. Me say me never get weary yet. Me never get weary praising the Lord. Me never get weary yet. When me say never get weary yet. Pam, never get weary yet. When me tikatata, never get weary praising the Lord. Never get weary yet. When we say no, sit down. Me say me can't sit down. Sit down. Me say me can't sit down. Sit down, me say me can't sit down. Jesus in me soul, so me can't sit down. Hey, sit down, me say me can't sit down. Sit down, me say me can't sit down. Sit down, me say me can't sit down. Jesus in me soul, say Jamaica, Lord Jesus. Good night, good Lord, God. Oh Lord, we say, me I go sing it again. Sit down, me say me can't sit down. Sit down, me say me can't sit down. Hey, me say me can't sit down. And justice in the system, so we can't sit down. Sit down, we say we can't sit down. Hey, me can't sit down. Hey, me say me can't sit down. Too much injustice in the system, so me can't sit down. Only hear what I said tonight? Too much injustice in the system, Jamaica. So me can't sit down. And I know today a lot of people were shocked. A lot of people were shocked. But I have a message to tell them, Jamaica. Too much injustice in the system. So we surely cannot sit down. Jamaica. Too much injustice in the system. Can't sit down. And I said that to say, Jamaica, that many of us tonight are like, will the justice system ever work in the interest of Jamaica? Many of us are questioning tonight if the justice system in Jamaica works. Many of us tonight are questioning so many aspects of this ruling that the judge gave today. And tonight, Jamaica, before I look at that, I should have a panel. And I'm saying to Jamaica tonight, run and call somebody and tell them that, Andre, go and have a dynamic panel over here in the next 10, 15 minutes. I'm asking you all, Jamaica, to call somebody and tell them real courthouse. See, everything I mash up for me tonight. Real courthouse I keep over partner draw TV. Wanna stop one do. Stop the shopping. Stop everything one do. And come a real courthouse. You hear what I say? Stop everything one do. And all I only with them on Facebook. Me not stay over here, you know. People with them on Facebook. Wanna run come over my YouTube channel. The 100 other one over here. Run come over my YouTube channel. Look. Hold on there. Because this is a distract. All I know, whether over Facebook. Run come over my YouTube channel. Just run come over there right now. Just run come over my YouTube channel. Look at the link above and it carries directly to the YouTube channel. All right? Bye-bye, Facebook. Bye-bye now. Why you can't text on YouTube? The only reason why you can't text on YouTube is if you don't subscribe. All you need to do is subscribe on the YouTube channel so you'll be able to talk. Today, Danielle Rose murderer was sentenced to life. Today, Danielle Rose murderer, Coyote Stachel, was sentenced to life. Let us hear what Danielle's mother had to say today about the sentencing.
Over a year since you have been coming here, what was going through your mind sitting and listening to what the judge was saying just now? And what is your opinion on the sentence?
What was going through my mind? I was wondering the sentence would turn out, if she's going to get less. Because I always play in my head because the sentence I want her to get, she got it to do. So that was playing in my head each time I come to court.
So you are pleased with what was delivered? It was what you expected?
Yeah, I'm very much pleased because she got the life sentence that I wanted.
Was the time, the number of years that you wanted her to spend
before she being eligible for parole?
Yeah, she got it. So I'm very much pleased.
In terms of forgiveness, have you considered forgiving Stachel? How do you feel about forgiveness?
Before, but now we know that the judge said that she took the baby life when she was expecting her child. So I don't have any forgiveness for her anymore when I heard that she took my baby life because that day was supposed to be her due date.
So given that you're not.
No, I have a change of mind.
Before that you were willing?
Yeah, but now I have a change of mind.
Earlier this month, when she was in the dock, she turned around and she said sorry to you. What was going through your mind when she said sorry to you?
Honestly, I felt sorry for her at that time. I felt really sorry for her because I'm saying that Danielle's father was the reason why she did what she did, even though it was wrong. He gave her a sickness that she had to live with for the rest of her life. So I felt sorry for her at that time when she told me sorry. But hearing what I heard just now, I have a change of mind.
So you are convinced that she's been truthful about Danielle's father giving her HIV?
Yes.
You believe that is so?
Yes.
And what do you believe should happen to Daniel's father?
He should have held accountable as well, because he's the reason why, I've been saying that he's the reason why his daughter life was taken. If he never do him do, the baby would have been probably should have harmed the baby because Danielle knew her, baby knew her. So if that never happened, the baby would have still be alive right now.
It's Christmas time now. What would you and Danielle be looking forward to? And what would this Christmas be like for you?
Well, my dad I look to get our gift as always because normally when it comes on to Christmas, my dad gets our stuff and hide them in the house and tell her to play hide and seek. So it's a kind of hard for me.
I've been saying it time and time again that the father should be charged, you know. I've been saying it time and time again that the father should be charged. The father should be charged as well. Wouldn't you agree with me tonight? That the father should be held accountable. But then will the justice system hold him accountable? Will the justice system hold the father accountable? Can you put on my guests who are here so far, please? Producer, can you add my guests who are here so far? Oh, the politician is here.
Good night, good night.
Mr. Buchanan.
How are you doing?
Having
Good
heard,
night to your audience. Huh?
having heard that story relating to what happened in Daniel Rose murder.
Yes.
And the mother is saying that she believes that the father should be charged as well. What is your legal opinion on that argument?
You know, I don't propose to offer any position on that matter. And I will tell you why. I don't have the facts. I did hear something about the sentencing of the woman that committed the murder, a child murder at that. I can comment on the sentencing, but outside of that, I mean, I don't have a position.
But the murderer accused,
Mm-hmm.
the murderer saying her motive was that the father infected her with HIV.
Mm-hmm.
With that, she said she tried on several occasions to get justice from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, coupled with her miscarriages. You're saying that under such, if a charge was to be made, who would have to make the charge? Not the person who committed the murder against the person who gave her the virus.
Right. The charge would the complainant in that matter would be the defendant, as in the child murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so while it is that there was a plea in mitigation, so the young lady pled guilty, and her lawyer successfully, I would say, did a plea in mitigation, which included a lot of facts that goes unchallenged.
So would, seeing that she's going into prison now, would
Mm-hmm.
she be able to say, counter charge the man who gave her the virus?
All right, so we can't conflate issues. There has been cases. Well, there is a case. I think the case is Flowers, where a man from Canada had infected several women in Canada, and there was an extradition hearing that took place. What the learned deputy DPP at the time did in the extradition hearing was to use what is known as GBH, which is grievous bodily harm. So yes, you can use your penis or your vagina as a weapon,
to infect somebody, and it would result in grievous bodily harm. If that were to take place, it would be a matter for the DPP to make the decision to charge the gentleman. But there has to be proof or a foundation that the man had, in fact, intentionally given, knowingly infected the young lady with HIV, and not just a sentence in ploy. I think the more serious issue that we are to think about is whether or not the sentence was sufficient in light of the fact that this lady took a child out of state custody, a public institution, and then kidnapped her and murdered her. There's no justification. There's no the motive as to why she did what she did could never justify the heinous crime of taking a child and committing that violent act against a child. So it's difficult for me to separate or conflate issues, to have to say victim, because I believe if somebody hurt you, it would make more sense that she went and attacked the man. So is she preserving her selfish ways to saying that she can't get the man, so let me kill his child, so the mother now can hurt and a child is lost? It's many things, but one wonders. And I think that in comparison to the current sentencing of other persons, or I mean, if one is to value life, when you look at the sentencing, this was a heinous act. The learned judge did make that clear, but I've seen persons get a lot more time for acts that certainly the trajectory of society wouldn't see what they did as heinous as a much as
You
opposed
are
to this
saying that
one.
you believe that the judge should have applied more pressure in
I
terms.
think the judge was quite lenient. I think
Oh,
the judge was quite lenient, and
so if
you
you were
know.
on the benches as a judge, how would you deal with this sentencing?
Oh, she should, yeah, she could get a good 60 years, but I don't know. Maybe the judge, in her wisdom, figures that she has her complications that apparently the state won't be able to effectively take care of. And the judge has way more wisdom than me, but maybe I'm acting off of emotion. That's why I'm not a judge. But I think if you're gonna get up and kill a child because the man do your things when you were quite okay with doing whatever you are doing as an adult, and you bring a child into it, that there's nothing in play and mitigation that could say that you are not allowed to. You should be getting some 45 something years. What type of message are we sending that it's okay? Ladies, when your man give you bone or your man leave you, just go find him child and destroy his life, as or the life of an innocent child. These are but so we have selective morality, and things are palatable. Because I'm sure if you go and shoot a businessman, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, it's the most heinous crime," and then you're to get 60 years because you shoot some businessman. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I can't get past that. So I feel the mother's
So you
pain, and
believe then that some more years should have been given?
that's my take. I believe that when you bring children into the mix, that yeah, in the absence of the state's ability to carry out the death penalty, yeah, the sentence should be excessive. And
If
let me be clear, I'm anti-death penalty.
you're anti-death penalty, but you have no problem
Mhm.
with the person serving time in the prison
No,
system.
you're right.
Anti-death
hmm
penalty, but you have no problem if she serve more time.
No, yeah, I think the sentence. I mean, like I said, for me, um, and if you listen to the judges, how the judge struggled with making it clear that she's never seen a situation like this. This is a heinous crime. She considered all the sentencing factors, and I just think that how when it comes to the Child Care Protection Act, Section 14, the duties, I could see how the mother could say the father should be charged because he has a duty to ensure not to put the child in harm. Now, I don't know the facts. I don't want to conflate it, but I think that motive has nothing to, in the criminal law, motive is something you can look at in the back end, but when it comes to guilt, intention is what you look at. She had the intention and the premeditation, the mens rea. She was not swayed or deterred. She went to a school and extract the child out of a school.
But if you were in the capacity as the mother's attorney, would you tell the
Mhm.
mother to take a lawsuit out against the school or the Ministry of Education?
Let me tell you something. I'm not conflating issues, but Immaculate Conception High School is the creme de la creme of schools in Jamaica. In fact, it is safe to say that if in your adult years you're lucky enough to meet a young lady from Immaculate High School and who's likely to graduate from the Faculty of Law or Medicine because she's trained by the Conception sisters, I would never think in my mind that there was a 14-year-old or 13-year-old being having sex with a teacher and gaining access to a child, a student of Immaculate. So you see, when it comes to just dragging the state into things like this, it is difficult for me to say. I'm raising that because um, the school is your second home, and a lot of times the schools are sometimes overcrowded. The teachers are underpaid. So many things are goes into play. But what is a school to do if the father have a new woman and there's no court order in place as to who has custody of the child, and a new woman come and say, oh, I come for the child, and they're familiar with the woman. The woman wasn't no boogie yaga, you know. Many things went wrong in this particular situation. So I will say that I really feel it for the mother. Whatever decision the attorneys take in terms of trying to find a solution is that this is what you call a most unfortunate event that took place in Jamaica. There are
If
many other things that were connected to it because I understand that a soldier tried to rescue her, save her life, and then we heard that he died, and there was just a lot of madness that came up in this particular case. So where the fault lies is that a beautiful mother is grieving. There's nothing, and I would just urge her, and I know she's probably not listening to me, that forgiveness is is a tool that allows you to heal. The forgiveness is for you to not carry baggage and hate in your heart for people who hate themselves. And that's the most I can say. And the state must not always allow itself to be sued, especially in an election year. I'm sure some government minister, probably more morality, can find it within our heart to recognize that this was violence against a child, and that the state intervenes to ensure that the mother is put in a position as best as she can in terms of getting the help, the counseling that she needs, because she's now a broken human being. I don't know what to tell you.
wow, wow.
Mm-hmm.
But you spoke about heinous crimes against children.
Mm-hmm.
Should you become the next Minister of Justice or the next Minister of Legal Affairs in this country, do you have any plans to possibly put forward some amendments to the Constitution for crimes committed against children?
So let me no, I'm gonna say this. There we have a section. the Child Care and Protection Act. I don't have it with me now. I think it's a section 14 or something like that. But we have our 12, one of them. I can't remember right now, but the entire state, every citizen in Jamaica has a statutory duty to ensure that children are protected. If you are even if you're aware that a teacher is having sex with a minor, you're to report it. If parents are abusing their kids, family members, you're to report it. If you're a neighbor, you have a statutory duty to report it. I think with proper with reminding and reinforcing the JCF the powers that it has and the however, whatever they call it now, CSPFA, Child Care Protection Agency people, that they are to continue with public education, which they are doing, but we are to be our neighbor's keeper, and every child is our child. We have to take it back there because I think the law is effectively in place. I think that I don't think that it needs to be a constitutional amendment. One would think it would be common sense that you don't harm children, and something is fundamentally wrong because you have a lot of mad people in clean clothes, mentally broken people that are going around and abusing just people in general. Or the way murders are being committed in this country has gone to a level that we don't even have the answers for. We know this government has failed at fighting crime, but there are serious issues. Poverty is one of them. Living conditions of the people, and people are angry. You traverse communities, and there are people who are angry for many different reasons. Can't even be telling people hold it. Can't tell you hold it, my G. Can't tell you hold it, mama, because the state has failed its citizens, and we're at there's a tension where the straw that breaks the camel back it affects.
Interesting. Boy. Producer, can you play the second clip in relation to Danielle, please? My God. There's a second clip there. What do you mean by it is not? Just a moment, Jamaica.
Yeah, but we should certainly use this situation as an indicator of how there's some disconnect in terms of how we pay attention to children in general.
Wow. I'm taking a time to sort out something, Jamaica.
Yes, I read in your comments. No, I was not on context matters in the field. But yeah.
Marvin Edgar, good night.
Good night, Andre. Sir Buchanan,
Good night, good night. So how are you doing?
manners,
All right.
manners and respect. I was not expecting you on tonight. But I guess wherever there is a Paula Llewellyn, there is a ISAT.
I
So
don't. I
I,
don't know.
I, I, I beg to interject and tell you that That is not the case.
There cannot be a sentence with Paula and Ice that is not somewhere in that sentence. Um, and I mean that in a good way. Um, good night to
Wait. You reach late. And because you reach late, you come here with a hot fire to come talk on a particular matter. Sir, hold on little there. Hold on there. Mm. Marvin, I'm sure you heard today that KO that statue, the young lady who murdered Danielle, she got 28 years. You have any submissions on that?
I mean one would say that justice has been served. Firstly, good night everybody who is watching. My apologies for also being late. I was invited here by Andre. One might say justice have been served, but for me, it doesn't matter how many years. It doesn't matter how many years we're given. It doesn't negate the fact that we have a child who is dead. A child who had nothing to do with this love triangle.
Okay. Yeah, man, go ahead.
I am one of the persons who have been a serious advocate for what's been happening to children here in Jamaica. And our justice system is nowhere near where we want it to be, one. Two, the people of Jamaica are sick. I think we're a sick set of people. We have gone from...
Jamaica are sick.
Huh? What do I mean by it?
People of Jamaica are sick. No. Withdraw that statement. Withdraw that statement. What do you mean by Jamaica are sick?
Andre, hold on. I think that majority of us as Jamaicans, let me use the word majority of us as a people from my country, where me love to my heart, I think we have gone. We have gone. We have gone. We're crazy. We don't care about our children. We don't care about justice anymore. We have lost morals and values. We are now a nation that is being scrutinized by everybody globally, and you have to travel to understand. We do not have a government. We do not have a government. We have a set of criminals, and we don't know what the word accountability is or what it means anymore. And it's sad day every day in Jamaica. And anybody who paints a different picture that Jamaica is quite fine, they are among the sick set of Jamaicans. And I don't know what it's going to take to finally get the Isaac Buchanans in the right offices. The Paulas need to go. The Darry Limple, they need to go. The Andrew Olases need to go. And all the other criminals, whether on PMP side or JLP side, the country needs a standard and a set of people who finally have morals and values. So with this little lady getting 27 years or 28 years, whichever one they gave her today, it's still a sad day, still a very sad day that an adult can get up and in our feelings, just kill a child to send a message to her lover. It's sad. It's really sad. It doesn't matter how you look at it. That child had nothing to do with what her father was doing, feeling jealous and did what she did. Yeah, it is very sad. And a lot of Jamaicans are comfortable with the 27 years, but she gonna spend some time, I think, in a prison them count day and night. In no time, she's back on the road. And another 8-year-old and kids of her age in her classroom, right across Jamaica, is going to look at this and grow up knowing that their peer was just murdered just like that. Just murdered just like that. And the country, the Jamaica moves on. I mean, some people even forgot about that case. If it didn't look on news, they would even have remembered. Because we do not have a country again that stands up and fight for our kids. 151 children went missing last year, and still the government of Jamaica has not yet implemented thing where when a child goes missing, we have that Alamanda alert that sends this message on everybody's phone to say John Brown 8 so and so, boom, 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 boom. I'm here in the Bahamas. In Bahamas, I came here today.
Statement Marvin, I know found there tonight. So I know like say, are you alone?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, we are work with quick responses tonight.
All right. Sorry, you can move on. I think I've said it.
Okay. Mr. Wildman, good night. You can turn on the camera for us, please, sir.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good
Mr.
night.
Wildman. Good night, Mr. Douglas. Good night, Mr. Buchanan. Good night, Mr. Edgar. This court is officially called to order. You wild man.
Yes, sir.
Erudite counsel. Mr. Buchanan. Erudite counsel. What is happening in Jamaica's justice system? You wild man, please take the floor.
Putting me on the spot, eh?
No, before I put you on the spot, let us hear Paula Llewellyn's attorney submission today. Yeah. Can you play Paula Llewellyn attorney submission today?
All I can say is that I think the full court, the Court of Appeal has come to the correct decision. I have not had the benefit of studying the judgment as yet because it's going to be very involved and detailed. But from the press summary, I think they were correct in how they construed Section 2.1 and 2.2 of the legislation that Ms. Llewellyn, being the incumbent, automatically benefit from the extension that Parliament had legitimately granted to the holder of the office, whoever that person is at the material time. And this power of election was really misconstrued by the full court, and that is where they fell into error. So I think it's a very sound judgment, but as I say, I reserve the right to study the judgment in its entirety when it is available.
When will Ms. Llewellyn resume her official duties as DPP?
Well, that depends a lot on the court issuing the official document, which is known as the certificate of the result of the appeal. And from that, it would be transmitted to the Public Services Commission, who would then take the appropriate action, meaning that the existing DPP or the acting DPP her tenure would be terminated. She reverts, I imagine, to her usual post and paving the way for Ms. Llewellyn to resume active duties.
How has Ms. Llewellyn coped throughout this, I don't know if ordeal is a word, but throughout this matter?
Well, from my own perspective, I think she had just taken the time to refresh herself, and we both had confidence that she would resume her position given the arguments that we had put before the court. So she was refreshing herself and keeping herself abreast of the various issues as they arise from time to time, with a view to resuming duties and acting as quickly as she can in getting up to speed.
Yes.
When she resumes office.
Yes. Did she take an approach, or did she take the view that she was being targeted?
No, I don't think she shared the view that she was being targeted. I know there was a political spin being put on some of, I would say, rulings or decisions. But Ms. Mullen not that does not deter her. That's one of the hazards of the job. I, as Solicitor General, knew that. That's one of the hazards of the job when you take on high public office. And that is something which, as they say, it comes and you roll with the punches. So I don't think that is any way as unfazed her, certainly in resuming her duties.
A question I should have asked from the start. You've spoken with her since the ruling has been handed down?
I've just briefly said congratulations to her.
What was her reaction?
I think it was one of, how should I put it now, quiet, expectation that she knew she would have prevailed, and yes, this is how it has impacted her. I think a lot of the enthusiasm which I normally see in other persons who have had a court victory, it's not there. It was very subdued, and we spoke about this earlier before the ruling came out, that having regard to the death of Barbara Gale, that has cast a pall over her whole outlook on, where Jamaican society is today. And the judgment coming at this point in time is, yes, expected, and she is happy that she'll be able to resume duties, but not with that exuberance or that enthusiasm which is characteristic of Ms. Llewellyn.
You wild man.
Yes, sir.
Having assessed the judgment today made by the Supreme Court.
Yes.
How is Paula Llewellyn?
As a court of appeal.
Yeah, the Court of Appeal. How is Paula Llewellyn going back to work?
Okay. Let me make the point that I did not read the judgment, but I was online and heard the press summary being read out. So let's make that point. Now, having regard to my knowledge of the case and the amendment itself that was passed by the government, my view is that there was a sideshow in this case, the way the case was fought. And the real issues have not yet been dealt with in the case. And I think that
the side issues are not the real issues.
That's correct. And it is my view that the case is yet to be argued. And why do I say this? The pension law has nothing to do with this case. That's a sideshow.
Mm-hmm.
The real issue in this case is whether the government could have passed an amendment to the Constitution to give the incumbent DPP a further extension by making that amendment retroactive. That is the real issue in the case, which has not been dealt with as yet. When the amendment took place, I drafted a challenge to it and was hoping to go to court. When the respondents, the PNP, also took it up, ran with it, but their focus was different from my focus. When they went to court, I sought to get consolidation of the matter. That is to say, their case and my case could have been argued together.
What? So you're saying that you reached out to the PNP to join the case together to go to the court?
And I reached out to the other side. But the other side, they did not want the consolidation because I think they see the strength of my case. So they wanted to deal with the case brought by the PNP and have my case dealt with separately. When the case was concluded and the PNP eventually got this verdict, I withdrew my case. It doesn't make sense have it anymore. So how did I approach the case? Which I think where the focus should have been.
Mm-hmm.
The focus should have been this. And I start with section 96(1) of the Constitution, which reads,
yes,
subject to the provisions of subsection 4 to 7 inclusive of this Constitution, the Director of Public Prosecution shall hold office until he attains the age of 60 years. That is the starting point. That is what the government sought to amend by making it 65. Okay?
65. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Subsection A, B, very critical in the scheme of things. It reads, the Governor General, acting on the recommendation of the Prime Minister, after consultation with the leader of the opposition, may permit a Director of Public Prosecutions who has attained the age of 60 years to continue office until he has attained such later age, not exceeding 65 years, as may, and these are the critical words, as may, before the DPP has attained the age of 60 years, have been agreed between them. What is the import of that? The import of that is this. Once Miss Llewellyn was given an extension, the first extension, which by the way is subject to challenge. There's an appeal coming up in my matter concerning that first challenge, which is to be heard early next year. That is not settled as yet. We are saying that the first extension is unconstitutional.
And you hold it that.
That is correct. So we're saying that this extension, in light of section 96(1)(b), is clear that she could only get one extension. Okay?
Shouldn't get two.
Can't get two, only one. Which she got. Therefore, therefore, the amendment that was passed to the Constitution could not rewrite history and give her a second extension.
Okay.
Because in context, that's what happened. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
What did the judge say today? Why she gave?
Because there was no focus on that in the case that I'm saying. The focus was on a side as to whether the government was vulgar in pushing through this appointment, this extension, this amendment, and whether it was improper motive. Or that was the sideshow in the case. So it led everybody down the wrong road, and the real issue is not yet determined in the case. The real issue.
And you have anything to say on this matter? Because you look very.
Mr. Wildman isn't finished. I'm trying to listen to the conclusion.
So we are saying that the real issue here is that you could not pass an amendment to undo history. The history is that she already run her course under the 96(b). So any amendment to the Constitution must be prospective, not retrospective. So it can't
it's a future, not past.
Not to the current holder. That has not been argued as yet. So the case is yet to be argued.
But if I may, Counsel Wildman,
it seems to me that this matter is ripe for the Privy Council.
What you said, you Wildman?
Right for the Privy Council. And when you go to the Privy Council, when you go to the Privy Council with this matter, you can refashion the argument to bring it in line with what I'm saying. You get me? Bring in line what I'm saying. And it seems to me that the government has to be careful if they go ahead and put Miss Llewellyn back on the job, because if it goes to the Privy Council and the Privy Council agrees with this position, then anything she does between now and September that is illegal, if the Privy Council were to rule that the appointment is bad. So the government has to be cautious in having Miss Llewellyn going back to office. Because if it goes to the Privy Council and the Privy Council rules that the appointment is illegal, then all the cases that should have done between now and next year, September, would be illegal and would be in a big constitutional crisis.
I said for Canon.
Mr. Wildman, you're wild.
But if I may, Mr. Wildman and panel.
Just give me a second.
Okay.
Isaac Buchanan.
Yes.
Are you supporting the position tonight of you, Wildman, that this matter should be carried to the Privy Council?
I believe that a part of justice is that all matters should certainly, if it is unresolved, be taken to the Privy Council where necessary. I'm saying this on the basis that I agree with Mr. Wildman that there is a central issue that must be addressed.
What is the central issue?
The issue is whether or not a DPP having received an extension qualifies for an additional extension. That's it. That's simple. So I think the ruling per se means that the sitting DPP who has not yet reached the particular age and has not received the second extension, then that DPP would have qualified. So if it is that the sitting DPP had not yet received an extension, then that amendment would not offend the Constitution. I think that the fact that the DPP as sitting was sitting as an extended DPP. This is after consultation was given a certain amount of years. The facts are that you asked for 5 years of extension and you only received 3 from the consultation or whatever. So you were not actually the sitting DPP, you were the DPP acting on an extension.
That's correct.
And that's a technical point that I know that it would be interesting to see the Privy Council take on, and it's a question I think that can be answered on paper. So, you know, for those who practice for the lawyers who,
you don't necessarily have to go to the Privy Council to argue it. You could
no. I'm saying I have not seen the judgment, and the judgment is not published online. So there's a lot of the court of appeal is a court of review. They're simply reviewing the arguments that put forth and how the judges come to their decision. So what all the court did was say, listen, the court says that the amendment was constitutional. The first part of it.
Yes.
We agree. Here's where we depart. It follows that if the first part was constitutional, the argument that the reasoning of the judges below as to why the second part was not constitutional was not something that was palatable to the Court of Appeal. They didn't, as Mr. Wildman said, deal with the issues because the issues wasn't put before them squarely.
That's correct.
But I will say this respectfully, that the court, all judges of the courts are the custos morum of the Constitution.
Yes.
The Constitution is a sacred document. I'm a little mature now, so I won't say what's in my head in terms of how it is treated by non-lawyers or lawyers who simply have little respect for the Constitution. So I hear Dora Explorer speaking on law, and she's not a lawyer. Quite nonsensical. But anyway, we have to treat the Constitution in a particular way, and when and the judges know it's almost as it's a internal locus of control as a judge, and I think the court below dealt with it that way, that something doesn't sit well, and this is where I depart from Mr. Wildman, when you rush the Constitution.
No,
And
I just want to.
no,
I am not.
I'm saying I don't see it as a side issue. I saw it very important that mature consideration has to be had when dealing with matters of the Constitution.
I agree with that, but what I'm saying to you, why I make the point that it was a real sideshow, is that under our Constitution that once you abide by the manner and form set out in Section 49 of the Constitution, Parliament has the power to amend the Constitution. So the issue here is not whether they could have amended the Constitution. Yes, it was vulgar. We agree with that. What I'm saying,
it was vulgar by Delroy Chuck and his and the government.
There's no issue that it was vulgar. What we're saying here, focus on the critical issue here, which is whether that amendment could have the effect of that retroactive effect to have the DPP obtaining what you call periodic extension.
But the answer to that, respectfully, Mr. Wildman, is that it could have a retroactive effect.
No, it could not, because in fact the legislation it said never sought to do that. And secondly, there's a rule in statutory interpretation, and the Constitution, the highest form of statute, is that you do not interpret a statute unless it is manifestly clear that you intend to have it retroactive. That is never allowed in statutory interpretation. So you don't give it that interpretation that it should have any retro. And in this one, it never sought to do that. So the issue is whether they could have interpreted the amendment to give the DPP that power to override the Parliament, to override Section 96, 1B.
Well,
1B is a touchstone. It is saying, look here, once you get one extension, you can't get another one.
No, but that's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making, though.
Yes.
I think that what is where there is a disconnect with how this is resolved is that the court below is saying what ought to have said. I'm paraphrasing here, that a DPP who had not received an extension already, who is the sitting DPP, not sitting with an extension, where the Constitution says you're only allowed one extension and you cannot. Yeah, I'm just saying.
But it's exactly the point I'm making.
But we're making it about the learned DPP, and at all material times it was never about her.
So she happens to be the person in the office now. The point we're making is this: she's a beneficiary. Forget the name then.
So take out Paula Llewellyn and just say the DPP.
The person is the beneficiary of one extension, which is consistent with 96.1b. Okay. 96.1b says once you have attained the age of 60, you could only have gotten one extension if an agreement was reached before you reach 60 between the DPP and the Prime Minister that you can that you can get an extension. And that extension can take you up to 65 or it can take you up to 63. Okay? She got it up to 63. Okay? Therefore, no parliament could pass a law to undo that. That can't
we agree with that, which is why I'm saying I do.
The additional 2 years you're arguing then
Yes.
is where it become unconstitutional.
That is correct.
That is where you agree to Mr. Buchanan.
That is correct. That is where the issue is. The issue is, can you know after she reached 63, after she got to 63, can you pass a law?
Mr. Wildman, she has exhausted her extension.
That is correct. So can you pass a law to enlarge that extension? No. Because for the purpose of the Constitution, she's retired.
Oh.
And you cannot unretire her.
Yep.
If I may,
Mm-hmm.
there is a point in the ruling in the press statement that said she isn't to receive it retroactively, and the intention wasn't for her to benefit, hence the parliament took the action, which I found odd, because she is in the office and her new tenure would end September of 2025. So by that argument, she's automatically benefiting.
That is correct.
So I don't understand in relation to them saying that she isn't supposed to be a beneficiary. It is for future DPPs. Given that she is in the seat now, all right, fine. Somebody else is in the seat now, and that person would have exhausted the age of 63, which is the first one. So by association, she is now on her second extension.
No.
Put it this way. If it is that you're on a contract and your contract ends this December, and there is a clause in the contract that says you can work without a contract up to March.
No. The Constitution cannot be interpreted like that. In fact,
that's a no.
Agree that she got an extension up to 63. That is agreed, okay? Then anything that occurs after that to extend her tenure would amount to a total breach of Section 96(1)(b).
And void to the extent of the inconsistency.
That is correct.
And that's why the judgment in the court below would have been sound. But
we see, because the way the argument was fashioned,
yeah,
focus on the retroactivity, which is key here. Because once you focus on that it can't be retroactive, then anything come after 63 is pro tanto void.
let's just add one particular thing about public policy though. In other jurisdictions, including the very UK, where this case is, if the PNP decides, will no doubt take it. They have had similar legislation which have caused judges who sit in the House of Lords and the Privy Council to return because the age was extended. I know that the only difference is that our Constitution is the supreme rule, but on a matter of public policy, is this actually much ado about nothing at this point?
No.
And no, I'm just putting that there because I'm now hearing, seeing tampering with the Constitution in the manner that it was done to be a victory, which it really isn't. And we ought to consider, the public interest in terms of the respect for the Constitution and holding it as sacred. So I just wonder. I'm just throwing that out as a devil's advocate for you to respond.
I'll make the point because you're dealing with the Constitution here, and you're dealing with a very important office.
Mm-hmm.
This requires the views, the opinion of the final court. It is a matter of grave public importance, and it should be settled by the Privy Council in terms of the.
My argument, she's going to spend she's 64 now, right? So she's going to spend probably another 9-10 months.
Yeah.
Should we really carry it to the Privy Council? Would we get even any time to carry it to the Privy Council in our time?
Well, it can be done. There are matters where the Privy Council would hear matters as a matter of urgency. It was done in for example, in St. Kitts during an election, where they were petitioned to hear it as a matter of urgency, and they heard it. That's been done across the Commonwealth.
So you believe that the Privy Council could hear it within the next 90 days?
Yes.
Yeah, they heard they heard the Palmer case but on an expedited basis.
It can be done.
And I guarantee you they are ready. If it were not for Christmas next week, they could hear it.
Can be done.
What you said? Wait.
Is it worth it though? Is it worth it though? Is it worth it? Is it
Of
worth
course. Hold on. Can I say something?
Your time. Talk for the common man in a
Hold on. Did you just ask the question if it's worth it?
Mm-hmm.
If we allow a matter of this magnitude to slide under the carpet because we're looking at time, all if 10 years pass, we want the Privy Council to hear this. Isaac said something just now where that is the perfect word. These people have tampered something that Paula Llewellyn and this government is very well known for. Tampering with your...
I gotta, don't do that, sir. Let me tell you something.
All right, hold on. All right. Isaac, hold on, man. Let me use my word.
I'm gonna shut you down. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna shut you down.
Hey!
This is for because of public education.
Yes.
It is important to know that we don't conflate issues.
Yes.
We're talking about the Constitution, and in the context, the use of the word tampering is in the manner complained of in the case, that it was rushed, that it was treated with the respect.
Okay. Yes.
It was used as a thief in the night. Something that everybody has to understand is that the learned DPP took no part in the decisions as to how that's Parliament. Just like the Constitution doesn't have a written section about the doctrine of separations of power.
Right.
She took no part into it, and when she was allowed to be a friend of the court and participate, is because she was the subject matter. She's the mere subject matter, and we ought not to conflate the issues. And I'm just gonna say this.
Fair enough.
I think this justice system work. The Prime Minister get a piece of it. Him rely on the very Constitution that they want to tinker, tamper, play with. When convenient to do so. I'm happy that the learned DPP got justice because I'm a champion of the Constitution and believe every citizen must get their day in court and have the Constitution work for them.
Yes.
The Constitution has worked for the learned DPP, and if somebody is dissatisfied, it is for the opposition to take the matter all the way to the Privy Council. Because I've seen
average. You see, you talk as a lawyer now. Talk as an average Jamaican.
No, but we must no. You see, that is what happened. That is what has caused JAMP to have to put out press release about clarity.
The money is at the $3 billion is enough. Don't start me over here tonight, you know. Don't over here tonight, you know. Mr. Buchanan.
This is what is affecting the country. This is what is really affecting the country. You have the common Jamaican citizens who the full force of the law is ditched to them. I heard Delroy Truck said something in the Parliament. I will never forget it, where he made a statement that up until today I can't believe that the Parliament was still allowed to go on, where he said that the Speaker of the House may be wrong, but the judgment is final. We should not forget that, Delroy Chuck, who is the justice minister, got up and said, the speaker of the house might be wrong, but the judgment is final.
All right, carrying back that argument there with what you say now. Make it make sense.
You know, some never carry it back.
Hurry up and carry it.
Paula Llewellyn, the so-called constitution. I don't even like the constitution of the country. It is what we were given, and it is no. Hold on, and I am being because this constitution only works for a particular set of people.
I don't agree with that, but go ahead. I don't agree with that, but go ahead.
It is fine. It is fine. There are many cases. There are many cases we could bring up of common citizens. Had it not been for the Isaac Buchanans who took up these matters and brought it to the Privy Council, we would have still had Anita.
Right?
Yes. But I am talking about the people.
Well, I know you can't say that because I decide to him gonna use the same constitution where the same people them use and a tamper with, right? But it's always a resource issue. If it is that they hold me now, say them are gonna lock me up and me spend 10 or 15 years in a jail, it's because me not have no money. And then you while man and I sort of go run come to my rescue because them know me not have no money. However, though, if it is that I had my money, me can do whatever I want. But that is not a constitutional issue.
Your producer dropping the ball tonight. What can go so?
Right. No, but it's very important, it's very important that people understand that my thought process behind the reason why I asked if it makes sense we go there. No, because you have to be careful. You don't want it to seem as if. Because remember, we live in a very politically charged society. No, in that realm, you run the risk of saying that we are personally attacking the office holder.
No, pause. I have to stop you there. Thank you. Stop you there. Let me make this point. That is totally wrong.
You're not attacking the holder of the office.
No. I believe
the perception.
No. I believe that the Constitution, being a sacred document that determines the metes and bounds of government, it warrants, where there's an issue like this, the pronouncement of the highest court of the land. If it is for future generation or future DPPs or whatever.
It's a precedence you need.
Secondly, I remind you about this. When Hines and the Queen, that celebrated case came about, remember, we call it gun code case. Remember that the lower courts got it wrong. The lower courts got it wrong. And when it reached the Privy Council, in the well-reasoned judge speech of Lord Diplock, that set it right, and is now the landmark case in the Commonwealth. So if you take your approach, it means that we stop it at this level, and we may be deprived of learning.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Which could become profound for future generations.
You're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all, Sir Wildman. I'm saying
the point I make is that this case cries out for the pronouncement of the highest court of the land. There's no question in my mind.
Yes.
So
I agree with that, but something just throwing caution to the wind. Do you realize that when the government loses, they say we'll take it all the way to the Privy Council? No, not only that. Just this year, I'm not finished. This
not.
year, the president, the chairman of the GLC lost her matter at the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
And she says, rubbish. And she takes it to the Privy
That,
Council.
I am
Paraphrasing.
a believer.
If a part of our judicial system is that the final court is the Privy Council.
That's correct.
And this is a very good example, especially going into an election year when people are saying we should leave the Privy Council or go to the CCJ and all of that. For the people to have an understanding that, listen, the system works, you know. Just this year, I went to the Privy Council on a case that the court pronounced on, and they got it wrong. It's not just Hines. When it comes to constitutional issues.
I use Hines and the Queen as an important because it has to do. Your case, I put that in a different category.
Yay! Okay. You put that in a Mr. Wildman Tapanaris case.
No, it puts it in a non-important citizen category.
I put that different category. If you go back to your case, it was palpable that if you apply just the Jury Act, there was no jury in your case. There's no question that you just apply the Jury Act. There was no jury in your case. This is a case that clearly has to do with the interpretation of the Constitution of Jamaica.
Yes, agreed.
Okay? That warrants that final pronouncement by the law lords as to what is the effect of this amendment on the incumbent DPP's tenure. That is what the thing is all about.
You made a pronouncement just now, Mr. Wildman.
Yes.
That it's very important to carry it to the Privy Council, because when the Privy Council rules, any judgments or any matter she carries on between now and next year, September, would be classified illegal.
Yes, if the Privy Council were to rule that her extension is unconstitutional, then it would mean that all the cases that she would have presided over between now and September would be illegal.
So what that mean then? Them cases they would have to retry?
Naturally, something would have to be done. And that is the danger that, in my view, that the government runs in having her reinstated just like that. I think they have to exercise caution here, because if the other side goes to the Privy Council and they were to succeed on the interpretation of the amendment vis-a-vis the Constitution, then we could have a real constitutional crisis at time.
Crisis, yep, that's true.
Would you say now, Mr. Wildman, that we're at a crossroads where we have a constitutional crisis?
Pardon me?
Wouldn't you say where we are now, we're having a serious constitutional crisis?
Well, it could be seen in that context, because you have a situation where one court rules one way, another court rules another way, and you have the final court to make yet its pronouncement. So it's a state of, uncertainty there.
Case
But it is sad enough, because these judges that are making these pronouncements are using the same constitution that we're talking about. Isn't it the same constitution that they're making their rulings from?
What happened though, Marvin? Remember, you have a defense.
It doesn't matter. The constitution is the final piece. It is supreme. It is supreme piece of law that governs the country. The supreme piece. And if you are judges,
Marvin, subject to interpretation.
No, but what interpretation? I mean, Justice Wyman just said it. Section 96 1B basically.
No. Him not depend the bench. It is
Yes.
Well, they give me tonight because it make more sense than who sit down on the bench. It make more sense than who sit down on the bench.
No,
You know, no, hold on. You see, this is another problem with me having. Me different, you know. Me represent the little ghetto youth them and other people them who our limited understanding. Our limited understanding of this constitution. We want to ask simple questions. We can't deal with those fancy statements and these to clause and this. We want to ask the question.
The man talk now, he sweat. Make him talk, man. The clothes nice.
Does Paula Llewellyn deserve a second extension? And based on the constitution, the simplicity of it, he said no. She not deserve, she not forget it because constitution does not allow a second one.
But Marvin, so it's not that simple. You know that simple.
You know, say that the man you have to make me fling something I find for your program. Brethren, if you keep talking about it's not that simple. You're saying that the constitution that we are reading from, or people are quoting from, or our understanding of it, what is in the constitution, you basically say we are either we don't make no sense. There is, we don't want no more clause and no more and no loophole. She don't forget a second extension. It is constitutionally wrong. It constitutionally wrong.
How you gonna want no more clause in a Christmas time? Yeah, this sun time.
If I may make this point.
Yes, Mr. Wildman.
Yeah, he's putting it in a way that we may think is unforensic and not acceptable. But essentially what he's saying is correct. If the
oh Lord God
is saying that you can only get one extension, the Parliament cannot pass a law to make a second extension permissible because the Constitution would have already exhausted that period of time under which she must serve, or tenure.
Wow.
Anything outside of that now would be clearly outside the ambit of Section 96(1)(b).
But that's a matter of interpretation.
I know but I'm saying, but that is why I read 96(1)(b), that everybody can understand it. I make you read it so that you must form your view of it. 96(1)(b) say before you reach 60, you may get one extension. That extension can take you up to 65, or it can take you up to 63. It could even take you up to 62. But once you pass 60, you can't get another extension.
But Mr. Wildman, if I take your approach, I'll never get forgot privy council.
Why you say that?
Why?
No, because you're shorting the work for the lawyers when you do it like that, man.
So you said Mr. Wildman did argue that today in the court.
You know,
Privy Council.
You know what is going to be crazy about all of this? When all of us in Jamaica turn on our TV screens again to witness the same set of lawyers who presided over those Privy Council lawyers and who presided over the Vibes Cartel case, and we saw the discomfort on Paula Llewellyn's face and all the other prosecutors at that hearing. It's the same thing we're going to witness in Jamaica again, and we're going to look like idiots all over again. It's like the people are going to say, want to really bring back a matter, a simple matter like this. It is obvious. Say the woman not supposed to get no second extension. No, I mean, no, say it not going to take them no more than 2 days. If you throw it out, we say, listen, no, it is unconstitutional and she not supposed to get the extension. Watch a joke. And when they come over here, somebody going to solution going to tell me, say, Marvin, in our work, sir, I am a liar. Me no need to be a liar. We know when certain things just not make no sense. I should not forget it. As a matter of fact, I have other reasons why I am so much against Paula Llewellyn being reinstated in her position. So whether or not it was constitutional, can I say this? Whether or not it was okay for her to be awarded the position. Let's say that it was constitutionally correct for her to be awarded a second extension. Let's just say that. We can't forget that it was the Paula Llewellyn who allowed Darryl Limple, who she and her son was throwing away a garbage by the roadside when the police write them up. And Paula Llewellyn said no charge. It's the same Paula Llewellyn who allowed Mr. Green, what name? Agriculture Minister, when he and his friends on No Movement Day made a mockery of the Jamaican people who needed to stay home. And she said no charge. It was the same Paula Llewellyn who allowed the policewoman who we know for a fact cut off the locks of Nzinga King. Mr. Buchanan, you can remember that case. As CM Paula Llewellyn said no charge. And you people keep allowing this woman to constantly use her office to belittle, to undermine the Jamaican people, the Constitution, and make our friends them go free. I do not respect her because she is not a real liar, and she is there for whatever cover up for the Jamaican Labour Party. I mean, me not gonna take back that. And Paula Llewellyn not had no respect from me because she not show the Jamaican people them. Say she is all about being a just lawyer. She should come out. As a matter of fact, she figure out prison. That one there. She should be arrested for all of them there. All of them the judgment that was she pronounced. Well, we know say it is wrong. It was illegal. We know that. I mean, I put it on record. Me Marvin Adrian Edgar says so.
She has a response for you tonight and the naysayers. Producer, you can play the response from Paula Llewellyn tonight.
Wanna stop protect them people, man.
The registrar issues what is called the certificate of the result of the appeal, and that finds its way to the Services Commission, I would presume. I would like to thank the acting DPP, Miss Claudette Thompson. She has been magnificent, and of course, thank my staff for having given her great support. Especially when you are successful and you do your job and you try to do your job well, you will come upon headwinds and challenges. So I regarded this as just another headwind. It was hard to be taken suddenly when I had to make the decision to step aside. It was heartbreaking, but my faith in God carried me through.
Her faith in God carried her through Marvin Edgar Ishmael.
Which God? Which God? Which God? Joke on it, man. Not joke, man. You know how many Jamaican, you know how much regular, ordinary Jamaicans had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for No Movement because then go broke. No Movement there. When this woman, who was supposed to be one of the highest offices in our judicial system, could look upon the minister, the Minister of Agriculture and his friends and say, no man, no charge must become to them. And you know how much Jamaicans get charged for littering and all kind of something. And she said, Darryl Limple, the same Darryl Limple, the same woman there, who no welcome back, in our parliament. So no welcome Darryl Limple, who's supposed to go to prison, and no welcome back Paula Llewellyn, who's supposed to go to prison right now. No can't see them, man. No can't stand them, man.
Pharaoh, let my people go.
Mr. Buchanan, Mr. Wildman is very silent on this matter.
Yeah, because you see them a liar, them can't talk like how me talk. You understand me? Me can't put my money where my mouth there. Me can't put for my money where my mouth there. Yeah, it is sad to know that Isaac Buchanan, I'm gonna say this tonight. I'm a love man, but I'm gonna say this. I have a lot of respect for Isaac. It was Isaac Buchanan who stood up for the young man who the police them go in a room and I make him put on the underpant on video to apologize to Andrew Holness. And I see him COVID time there. Are you gonna represent the young man there?
No, it's not me. That was Alexander Shaw. Please don't mind them say me I try to take credit.
One of them, you were representing one of them who. Me no, one of them you not represent. And the same Nzinga King, weren't you the one who?
That's me, yes.
Of course, I you the take of the matter there. And from them the time that me follow you, I say me like you because you represent the poor people them. You represent poor people in Jamaica. Yeah, some I mean no me no personally say, you know, like Paula, and it's not that you don't respect her for being. Hello, my opinion. My opinion. My opinion.
Yeah,
My
please. When you
opinion.
said no personally, let me tell you something. I have the greatest respect for the learned DPP.
Why? Why?
Let me just make that clear.
Why?
And the office
Tell
that
us
he
why.
holds. Listen, the one little case of me do it done and gone, you know.
You think she feel the same way about you?
Freedom Street on the 31st. So who have money can go buy one ticket and go jump up and down with Cartel and him friend them. Moving on. Life goes on. The most important thing listen, the most important, I'm happy that the learned DPP has gotten back her office and she may celebrate at Freedom Street with Cartel and Babsy and the works. Right?
Really? Isaac, really?
I'm just saying, life goes on. We must not be so passionate about and emotional about these matters.
No, man, hold on. Isaac, hold on. Me I forgot.
The arena is the court.
No. Isaac, me can't believe some man like you come here so tonight to come joke about this serious matter, you know, about this learned DPP and make Paula look like she's God's gift to Jamaica and Jamaica's justice system. Paula Llewellyn, for me, in based on observing her and her judgment and rulings over a number of cases that I have already made I've made clear to everybody here tonight. When you sit down there and know say her rulings on these matters were wrong, they were unconstitutional, they were illegal. They were not supposed to have happened. And I can't believe someone sit down tonight and I paint a picture to make it seem like Paula Llewellyn has done something magnanimous and beautiful and deserve all the praise and accolades. Paula Llewellyn not do nothing for Jamaica. Paula Llewellyn not do nothing for Jamaica. I won't leave a people right now in a prison. It's just because them can't find the money to put their cases to the Privy Council. And you know that.
But that the learnings are guided by what is known as a canon.
A canon?
A canon.
Oh, okay.
Canon. Am I right, gentlemen? The things
about canon.
The things that you are expressing, they can't express it like that because the GLC.
I know. So he might try to see a face. And you don't need nobody to see no face. Now, Jamaica is at such a critical point right now where we have seen where those who are sitting in the highest offices of our country are robbing and raping our country. We don't have a justice system that is protecting the people of Jamaica. And only time we see it work again, it's when people like Isaac and other what I would consider genuine people who want to show that the law is here and the law needs to serve for everybody and the law is just. There's no other thing. The law should be just. The same law that works for those people up by Beverly Hills and Norbrook needs to work for the average Jamaican. Too often we've seen where police and other persons who should uphold the law in this country, lawyers, judges, we've seen where they've abused. They have abused the rights of citizens in Jamaica, and nobody says anything about it because oftentimes the persons who have been ostracized, the persons who get the shitty end of the stick, those are the persons who don't have no money to take things to a higher level. So them just sit down and them just take the injustice being dished out to them. But I promise you that me as of today going forward, me Marvin, Adrian, Edgar, I am going to be using every last dollar when me make. They're going to start using it and pay real lawyers to represent poor people when I see the matters come up on the news them, because I am sick and tired of people like Paula Llewellyn and other persons who should be upholding justice and law in Jamaica. We play a game, Dally House, we play with the people them, Dally House.
Marvin, have you ever heard the term Puic victory?
No.
Okay. So there is a term called Puic victory. Michael Manley spoke about it. In essence, it may seems good. It may seem like a great one now, but in the grand scheme of things, it matters not. That's all I'll say.
Where we are going now is that we possibly could see the opposition taking this to the Privy Council. And what the learned attorneys have argued is that should they go to the Privy Council, they see that they could get an expedited hearing. So we don't know if Paula is all good and dandy for the next 9 months. That is the most important information being taken here. But my argument is people are arguing that cases like Ruel Reid and Fix Knock and the IC and the Prime Minister, they believe that with Paula now being returned as DPP, those cases are in jeopardy. What is your pronouncement? No, not going to start with Marvin. What's your pronouncement, Mr. Douglas?
Again, I don't think we should conflate issues because the judges preside over those, and they are separate cases, all of them. They are individual cases within their own merit. As the counsels would have said, each one, the arguments put forward, that is how they're judged. Having said that, it's unfortunate that the ruling happened how it happened today, but nevertheless, we have at best 9 months to endure. So if that is the case and some we lose, then we take them higher because we have courts to do so. But as far as I'm concerned,
man, you go and sit in any court with Paula?
Me? Well, I have no choice. I have no choice that until the courts say otherwise, you have no choice.
But I know you have a lot of friends in the legal circle. Lawyers talk with lawyers, doctors talk with lawyers. What is the sentiment in the legal circle this evening that Paula is returning to court?
It's difficult for me to give you this sentiment. Let me tell you, my position is that I'm a creature of the law. So I don't operate on what the sentiments of people are. I operate on my own assessment of legal issues. And that is where I go. Okay? That's what informs me. And my position is that, as I said earlier, this case cries out for further litigation. It is a fit and proper case to be dealt with by the highest court because I see where the issues are, which have not been focused on, and I think we need the intervention of the highest court. Bear in mind that the Privy Council, when you go to the Constitution, for example, that's why the Constitution itself sets out in Section 110 that where you have matters dealing with the interpretation of the Constitution, you have a right to go to the highest court as of right. As of right. This is a case that you are entitled to go there as of right because it has to do with the interpretation of the Constitution. And it seems to me that one should make oneself readily available to have this matter taken to that body, that court, because the issues are so important. It would affect future DPPs. So you have to have it settled. I think that's something that you can have left in the balance like that. You must be clear in your mind as to whether you can pass a law to do what was done here. In light of the constitutional provision.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
As I said, the simple way is to, my view is that to just...
I want to ask a question before I ask where do we... So, Mr. Wildman.
Yes.
Seeing that the court say what it said.
Yes.
Technically, it's only 10 months you have left in the office. Am I correct?
Yes. Let us say
That
that.
means to come September, she can't continue. Am I correct?
Well, based on the amendment, yes.
Oh, okay. So
But
she have no more time beyond September.
That's ironic. I thought that amendment would have her. She could. Isn't it now up to 70?
Yeah, could be. But you see, I
What?
heard.
So
So
I'm just
she can
wondering if
retire
we.
when she feels like.
And that is
That's what it says.
wait, and that is the danger in what we're doing here. I am saying that the executive, we should not allow the executive the power to manipulate the appointment of an office. Like, okay, we're saying that because the office is so important, it must be settled as to how one can get an extension of the office of DPP. That should not be left to the whims and fancy of the executive. That must be done by way of the Constitution.
But Isaac is just mentioning that she could go up to 70 years old.
Well, because of the open-ended nature of the law. That was passed.
No, Mr. Wildman, because you scare me now. Isaac, you scare me now. No.
It's true.
So you say, no, forget me, just get me. So you said there is a possibility that she could be in the office for another 6 years?
By election, but there's something more interesting. I am one, and you've seen me in many spaces, Andre. This show, Ratigan show, my show, where I trust the wisdom of the court. I also
the court is being superseded by the executive.
No. I'm saying I've always trusted the wisdom of the judiciary. And I'm sure when I see that judgment, because I certainly the Madam President of that panel is one of the most erudite judges that sit on that panel.
I never president rule today.
I said the president of the panel.
Oh,
Justice Strauss. Mm-hmm.
Minute. Oh
no, I'm just telling you something, I trust her wisdom, and in that wisdom, sometimes you see, what I love about the court system, and I'm just saying this to the public so that they understand. Sometimes some things are best dealt with outside of this jurisdiction. That's all I'm gonna say. So we hot potato is a game that I used to play when I was young.
You know, say you take me video. You take me video.
So what we must always do, especially in Jamaica, a young nation, is to trust the process. I'm a firm believer that this justice system works and it never fails. And there's just some things are important. And take a cue from Mr. Wildman when he raised his hands. We were heading in a direction, and it went to the Privy Council, and that case became a landmark decision across the Caribbean. Don't ever forget that. So nobody should be. And last but not least, before I go, if I had 28 bank accounts, I'd be the happiest person. I mean, so if I had a stimple in my rimple or a dimple in my chimple, I would be so happy today. I'm telling you, so when it
Everybody
comes to
could get a tablet in East Portland.
When it comes to court rulings, there will be some who is happy and some who is sad. But one thing about the law is that it's a beautiful thing and it's a jealous mistress. Make do what you want with it, and the people should just know that a part of the process is that until the fat lady sings in the UK, the case not done.
Wow. Gentlemen, I want to move on another argument before we wrap up tonight. I'm appalled that JAMP has now withdrawn their statement saying that the monies are unaccounted for. They are saying that the monies are outstanding. Anybody with accounting or auditing background. Are you, Mr. Wildman? You are you understand interpretation of definition. Unaccounted and outstanding. What is the difference?
There, if I well, let me
Coming
yeah,
to
yeah.
Mr. Wildman.
But that's not, you know, that jump never.
Him gone. Him soon come back.
Okay.
It's funny. It's absolutely funny how I see in the space of 1 week, the same thing happened to another entity. TVJ had the same issue, and I'm not sure if anybody remember. TVJ said something about a particular entity, and they had to retract. I'm not sure if anybody remember that. And now JAMP. I don't know. This sound like this feel like a pattern to me. Anyhow, the word unaccounted for is mentioned in the FAA Act because that's what governs the audit and accounting of the of Jamaica. So I not understand why unaccounted is a wrong word to use. Maybe
I'll
that's
tell you why it's a wrong word to use.
Mm-hmm.
Because last week, the low aptitude English speaking persons did not go to the dictionary and realize that accounted, a synonym for accounted for, means missing. Having put out press release to say that accounting for didn't mean missing, they were the dictionary showed them up, and so they had to have a different way. What is clear with JAMP though is JAMP was very clear to say that although the monies are unaccounted for, they're not saying that anything untoward took place. So for language purposes, they just simply say the $1 trillion of the public funds is outstanding. And so
Let
because
me
of
tell
that,
you what happened.
hold
I
on,
settle
no.
everybody.
Because of that, if you look to the law will say that if you can't file your accounts, then it's outstanding. And outstanding means, as far as we're concerned, is missing until you prove otherwise.
Let me tell you what happened. I am
So
going to send it.
this is
I'm going to
just
send it to Andre. Let me tell you
gymnastics.
exactly why this happened. This is now an issue because social media made it an issue. So they had to withdraw it because influencers are speaking about the fact that $3 trillion are, me can't use unaccounted. Which word me for use?
The accounts are not yet filed.
Right.
Yes.
Not even know it.
So the auditor
Let me
general
send it to you, Andre. Let me
cannot
send it
make
to
a
you. Let me send one to
determination.
you because everybody is speaking about it. And if you notice, our finance minister, she gone on a rampage. She gone on a hell of a rampage. She just anybody who says anything about it, she talk about get the facts straight and she post them and she personal message them. It is on her page now, you know. I'm telling you, anybody that says anything about it, she go after them.
So how should not come after me? How should not come after me?
You're too tough. You're not soft. Can't come after you and you're not soft. You have to know, you know.
But Mr. Wild, Marvin, what is your take about outstanding monies versus unaccounted monies?
I've been talking about this, Andre, from Evelyn, and I'm gonna say it again. Mr. Buchanan is pussyfooting around what needs to be said, and I'm gonna say this to the Jamaican people who are here locally and in the diaspora listening to us, that the Anansiism that is being played with the Jamaican people and the use of different words, you know, the little fancy words that you're using, right? Because when the news put out something that JAMP had to withdraw, Jamaicans not say nothing else, you know. Especially the Jamaican Labour Party people are more dieted, you know. They don't see nothing else in that statement more than they had to withdraw. So now them make a big stink about, you see it? So them have to withdraw it. That mean the money them did it, but and them not do them thing in it. You see them officer them withdraw. People, I don't care which word is used. We're talking about 3 trillion Jamaican dollars that could have easily fixed our hospital issues. And yet still we have when name their Tufton come bragging about things and in Washington DC anticipating the arrival of and fake broadcasting as if in work with TVJ, anticipating the arrival of our finance minister, former finance minister. And when I look at people like Christopher Tufton, whose ministry is the second ministry that unaccounted for almost 700 billion Jamaican dollars within the last 6 to 11 years cannot, oh, well, it's outstanding. Where is that money? And why in the prison? Why is it the people in Jamaica have to every day get up to this Jamaican government and to the media using different words and clause and play with the Jamaican people? As if to say, if money can't find, them not have it. Where is it with them not have it?
No, they're saying that the monies have been spent, but them not audited to say, yes, it was spent on this. That's what I get. That is my interpretation. No, that's the interpretation you get, Mr. Wildman.
No.
So I work in the field, you know. So I'm an expert in this. But go ahead, Mr. Wildman.
That I leave that to the accountant.
I have a degree in accounting.
Go ahead, Go ahead, Douglas. Go ahead, Douglas.
No, man. Context matters, you know. I'm sorry, I said never there. I sent you something, Andre. I wish you would play it.
No, I don't think I'm playing that because them say the bloggers them are not playing it.
Okay.
Come on, Douglas. Talk to Jamaican people then.
So it let me give you the textbook definition under the FAA Act first of what unaudited truly means. Unaccounted means no credible explanation or physical evidence was seen, presented to satisfy the examiner as to how those funds were disposed.
But it's not unaccounted because the audit not reached there yet.
And that's not how it works in government, Andre. How it works is every year, every MDA is mandated to send it, and they would write you more than 3 times for the year to remind you. And if you are late, they send you warning letters.
Generally saying that for the past 9 to 11 years, they have been writing, they have been messaging, they have been doing all of those things, and nothing has been forthcoming. That's my interpretation.
And if that is the case, the respective MDAs are more than culpable because they know that these things are outstanding and they choose not to submit them. Why aren't they submitting them? That is so fine. That is the real question. So if they are not submitting them, isn't it fair to say that some of it cannot be accounted for?
Well, I don't know if some, probably is most.
Okay. If for 9 years, so you're telling me that Andre Stevens having partner draw TV, and every single time when you go to file your taxes, them ask you how you travel every day, where you use and travel, you can't tell them.
No receipt. No receipt.
You not collect one receipt.
But no receipt.
People them money. And the people
right,
want to where your money
Mr. Douglas, sorry.
Make any sense.
Right. Just Mr. Douglas, because you have a lot of people who are watching Andre's program, and some of them don't understand certain words and terms. We have to use some simple sentences and some simple scenarios to break down where you explain to. We not get no receipt. The auditor general not get no receipt, and we are right to no. I asked the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Ministry of Health. Oh, where the money are there for that area? Because Uno did get it, right? Uno did get 500 million. Where there?
In simpler terms, every single agency or department or ministry under the government of Jamaica, them send one piece of document asking for money from Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
When they send the document, let's say every agency asks for $100. When them send the money, it is our responsibility to send back where we spend it pan. If it is me send the $100, and all me ask you, you know, Andre does it so well every single time. If nobody send him nothing, him send a picture. Him make sure people see that the money is spent on this. So you are gonna tell me, say, people are send Andre money, and instead of Andre show, say people him a take him money feed, him can show people all long, and we been say, Andre, show we what you do with the money. You gonna say
for 9 years.
Me feed
for 9
people.
years.
Me feed people. But the same people them when feed still hungry on the road.
I want to thank Mr. Wildman for joining. He has to leave now. But thank you, Sir Wildman, for adding to the discussion. And I hope that you'll be at the Privy Council to defend the argument.
Yes. Me like Mr. Wildman. Thank you. Me don't know where you got them hours and night. You should be over here so with you people. All the people listen to you. And we respect your learnedness.
All right, sir. Thank you for coming.
Right. So personally, I think it's beyond me how we get money, but then nobody wants to give account for it. And then all we're gonna do, we're gonna say, not because we don't whatever. That are just pure semantics. If the AG been a ask feet, if the people them ask you to something you can't submit it, them liable to say anything.
Yes.
Them want to say
yes
until you show me the proof. Say no missing. So Madam Finance Minister, drape up who you need to drape up for sure. Say I lie. Everybody I tell upon you. Prove we wrong then. If that is the case, prove we wrong. Because I see I come out strong for everybody who is anybody. Everybody I come out strong for. Check our Instagram page, people. Everybody. And
listen, we can't put Favor Williams. Can't put Favor Williams on practice. Can't put Favor on no practice.
No, but it's no man. But it's no. It's dishonest. Let me tell you why it's dishonest.
Why you can't put her on practice, Marvin? What happened to
come on, you're talking about Favor Williams. What contribution has this woman done for the education sector? If she can't manage education sector, you're telling that she can handle the most important office in the parliament, the most important one. I can't stay to watch the failing Jamaican party, who most of them, I don't know what Isaac them plan to do if and when they get elected to be the next government, because people need to go to prison. I mean, I want nobody come up here with no fancy terms and no fancy class at full time for the parliamentarians who have been robbing and raping the Jamaican people. Go prison. And that need a pan. Straight. All right.
I just return to say this thing about unaccounted and missing is that the Auditor General would have gone in and done her own internal audit. And because when you do you do your audit, like when you have an accountant, the accountant usually says, so where the receipt there? What did you spend this on? So when you cannot produce the receipt, you cannot balance your accounts because you cannot proceed. So if your failure to produce the receipts, meaning that things are unaccounted for. Doesn't matter what JAMP says. If you do it and beat me, account for it. Because if you can't account for it, as far as we the public are concerned, the money missing.
I'm glad I said that, Andre. You know why?
PR the thing. You can't PR this. You can't PR this.
I'm glad I said that.
Yeah?
When
Jesus was on the cross, there were two people, one to his left and one to his right. And Jesus said, forgive the thieves, but not the liars. That's a sermon for tonight. Good night, gentlemen. I'm past my bed. It's past my bedtime. And check me next week, Thursday, Christmas Day, for an English class over context matters about missing, unaccounted for, and can't find the receipts and keep not doing your job for 11 years. Good night.
So let me put it in context, guys. And I can say this with my chest, every single ministry has an internal audit unit. Every ministry. Before the auditor general comes in, the internal auditors go in first. And if it is that something is wrong, the auditor general will then come in. I can tell you, auditor general go a whole heap of ministry.
Breaking news, Jamaica. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Another TikToker tonight, another TikToker that goes by the name Bosshead. It is confirmed that Bosshead was shot up tonight whilst on the live multiple times. I'm gathering that he was shot about 10 times, Jamaica.
What?
Bosshead.
Help.
Bosshead is another TikToker who is famous on ranking in Jamaica. I'm confirming that he was shot approximately 10 times. We don't know the status of his situation, but I'm being told as we speak that producer, if you can get a picture of Bosshead to post, but Bosshead was shot up. And I gather that his birthday would be tomorrow. He was shot up just now on his live.
Oh no.
Jamaica, but another TikToker has
have a good message for you.
Become a casualty. It is the whole talk on TikTok right now. It's the biggest talk on TikTok right now.
For those who are listening, Andre, firstly, let me just say, I don't know the situation. I don't know if he's deceased as yet. But my heartfelt condolences to the family. If he is in critical condition, then we empathize and we pray for speedy recovery. That's one. Two, I said it about a week and a half ago on Reedy's channel that if they don't ban TikTok in Jamaica, there are many more TikTokers that are going to lose their lives because a lot of persons are angry. And it started from the incident in, I think, Florida with the World Dog and the others. It's just a spiral of events just keeps happening. And people, the Jamaicans who are on TikTok are not over. Most of them are not doing anything constructive. And when you listen to the talks during the daytime and the utterances hurled at each other, I am saying it to you again. Jamaica, me telling you now, I think a joke me make, you know. We are a sad state. You don't hear of no other country where their TikTokers are at each other like that. You know hear what me telling you, say? You hear what me telling you, say?
That is a TikToker, Jamaica, that was shot multiple times.
But Marvin, I don't think TikTok is the real issue, you know. I don't think
It's not.
itself, you know.
It's not TikTok, but it's who is using it and what we're using it for in Jamaica.
It's
And
just like
if we don't stop, we're gonna have a serious. We're gonna have many more.
Now go stop it. We're gonna go somewhere else with the foolishness.
So what are we going to do? What is the solution? Let's talk about solution. What other solution? Because the truth is, you know, if you ban it, then these guys who are being distracted from doing other evil things, they are now going to find evil to do.
They are paid from TikTok, you know. People make money from TikTok, you know.
Yeah, we know that. And the good people are going to suffer for the bad.
Food. People's livelihood that you're stopping us is a delicate balance.
So what do we do? Because it is now out of control and they're waiting to do these things online.
As far as me concerned, everybody just bad mind people in the TikTok workplace.
Right, but I'm saying a solution to an ongoing problem. Now, this is not one incident, two. This is about 3 or 4, and it involves Jamaicans on live, on live.
We will hear what happened.
Having that you believe that you need to shut it down.
What do you mean if you believe? Then listen, I'm gonna say this, you know. I would not want them to do that because there are good people like yourself, Andre, and other credible TikTokers who are doing constructive things with the app, right? Who are really making a bread, or not even not making a bread, that are really encouraging people on a day-to-day basis, are bringing solid and good content to people. But we have a set of Jamaicans who they don't have any purpose to live. Like they get up every day, and when you listen to the discussions being had on their platform, it is the scum of the earth. It is the worst of the worst. They talk nothing will make sense over there, nothing. And we glorify these people. We keep parties with them. We highlight them as icons. You have young people who wants to be like them. Jamaica is in a state, Andre, for all the listeners tonight, viewers. I'm going to say this to you. Google it and tell me where we are placed right now as one of the most murderous countries in the world. We are in the top 5 most murderous. We're easily unaliving 44 people in our week. We are unloading 5 barrels of guns, and that is what they found. That's what they find. Can you imagine what they have not found? And what do? We award the Minister of National Security on Heroes Day. We award him. We give the Minister of National Security award. And then he had the audacity to stand up with the mayor in St. James, to let Jamaicans know that they're going to make Montego Bay the safest city in the world. How? When? With which government? When you have all the dogs, all the canine dogs, you have them working at the airport instead of working in the garrisons to smell and find the guns around Jamaica. You don't ever see them with dogs or walk through communities. Do you think that these people can't solve crime? They don't want to solve crime. Because solving crime does not help them to have their bad man friend round up people to go vote for them on election day. If me Marvin H and Edgar get in position a morning, me na ask no, crime go down by 90%. 90 in a week, just like President Bukele from El Salvador. You think I would not take a page out of his book? You think I would not take a page out of his book? Don't tell me that it's everywhere crime there. If you look at Japan, Japan has 105 million people. Do you know what is the murder rate in Japan per year? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 105 million people. You know how I feel when I come to Bahamas and Antigua. I just flew from Antigua yesterday. Yeah? And their overall murder rate for the year is 9. 9. And in that, would you believe it that there were 2 Jamaicans? You know how? Then go rob people supermarket over there. You know, people in good country. And the police have to shoot them. Police have to shoot them. To add to the people and murder tally. Every flipping where we go, we are a disgrace. The Jamaica that I know, people used to do everything to get Jamaicans in their country back in the days. Because we were a credible set of people. We were hardworking. Now all we have is a bunch of young men right through the length and breadth of Jamaica, with pants right under them backside, I dig out their handmickle, they on TikTok, a chat garbage, and the young ladies are only interested in their hair, extending their ass, extending their boobs, and that is all that we now have. And we have a government who walks around, rob the country's purse, pretends that they're doing something for this country, and anybody who don't understand that we are in a complete mess. Take a look into our schools. We are graduating, almost thousands of kids leaving school. Come July, when we have the graduation class again, 70% of the graduating class cannot read. 70%. And people think that the country is doing well. The country is doing well. You have a country where we are comfortable with foreigners wanting our teachers because we fail to pay them, but we take 300% for ourselves. Yes, and we cannot find what is the word? Unaccounted for, missing. What is the word? Outstanding. It doesn't matter which word they use. $3 trillion cannot be found. You know, sister, we have a country with no law and no order. We have a country that is putting people like Darren Limple back into the parliament, who is still before the courts, for criminal stuff. And Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister, gonna say, by popular demand, the country want them. You know why? Because we no longer have no men. We don't have no more man left in Jamaica. We don't know where Rasta man then there. We don't have be a girl we have. We don't have no more man who can march with Marvin Edgar, go down a garden house, just like Paul Bogle and Sam Sharp would have done it, and none of the Maroons. We don't have no more body. Everybody come on social media, and all we do is just damn talk. Tomorrow, Adventists are going to go in church. What Adventists going to do tomorrow? They're going to preach about Paul and Daniel in the lion's den, while the country, the country is falling apart. We now see Pentecostal, Baptist, Adventists, and everybody come together. People who say that they're holding up the moral values of Prince Emmanuel. Whole hand and march through the country. Under see the level of demonic forces that are plaguing our society. And people still think that Jamaica is beautiful. Sick.
No, man, it is same way, no. It is same way, man. There's
Jamaica will never be beautiful. Jamaica will never be beautiful with the 63 people we have up in that parliament. Jamaica will never be beautiful with a bastardized constitution that only works for the rich. Jamaica will never be beautiful when we constantly have garrison politics that divide the Jamaican people.
Roses. Oh my God.
When they dismantle the garrisons in Jamaica, when Tivoli and Jungle can hug up and understand that we are all Jamaicans and we're not separated by color, when we can have that, you will have back Jamaica. Remember me telling you that. When we can hold people who thief the country money accountable and go to prison, we will have back Jamaica. Promise under that.
It's very unfortunate because this is in the space of what, a month, less than 2 weeks, Andre. Another TikTok, less than 2 weeks, another TikTok on live, coupled with the fact that a glaring robbery happened, you know, and the perpetrators used the same you know medium to save their lives. You know, it's very unfortunate. So I really think they see it as a tool to either save their life or to do whatever they're doing. I don't know, man.
On not see nothing yet. Hey, on tap pretty it up. I say on see nothing yet. 400 gangs in Jamaica. 400. 400. Wanna get up and start just right from 1 to 400. I wanna see there many gangs. 400 gangs in the country. And you know what the Ministry of National Security had the audacity to tell we? That 298 of them are active. How the hell wanna know that them active? How do you know that they are active? How do you know that 298 gangs are active? And we cannot solve crime in the country? And we can't solve crime in the country? You think it's easy something when you can stand up in a Spanish town? You can stay in Spanish town and watch a young man just walk up to another one and pump bullets into him right outside the gas station in a broad daylight and just put the hood over him head and just run across the streets? Run across the streets? And then you want to stop people like me and tell me that, sir, wind down the back glass, open the trunk, license and registration. Yeah, you think that's how you solve crime? You think that's how you solve flipping crime in Jamaica? Eh? When you can lock up these criminals and you send them.
The Jamaica eye is not working.
Jesus Christ, not even about to get him started on that.
I'm gonna say this to you. The day when our Prime Minister refused, when our Prime Minister and that woman, Kamina Johnson-Smith, the Foreign Minister, the woman who is in charge of our Foreign Affairs Minister, when they refused to take the 400,000 cameras that South Korea was offering us. I hope you will remember that day. South Korea was offering Jamaica. It was a gift. It was a decision to take 400,000 cameras. Those cameras were supposed to strategically place right across the length and breadth of Jamaica for us to see the criminal activities. But you know what? Of course you can't do that. Just like that is why our Prime Minister can boldly come publicly tell we. So we know who the criminals are. We know who the gunmen are. And nobody
Marvin, what do you think about Marvin? What do you
in the
think?
country does nothing about that.
What do you think about arming our regular citizens? Or
oh, you mean if every law-abiding citizen in the country should have a licensed firearm at this point?
I've been saying it. I've been saying
every law. All right, so I'm going to ask you something. Why is it okay for white people and black Americans to of course have this? And people in England and Canada and all that. Why is it they should be privileged to protect their homes and families? Why should we hear people talk about, yeah, idiot, you can't give every Jamaican gun? What do you think you're going to have? The wild west. Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you something. Every Jamaican have cutlass and knife in the yard. Are we walking up and chopping up each other? Aren't those weapons? Are we idiots to walk? But what would have happened? These criminals would have think twice when they walk up in our community. Because at this point, every single neighbor have a gun. What do you think would have happened?
Shoot them back. That's what I think.
But instead,
I'm going to make this promise.
Listen to it. Listen to it. Listen who are protected.
Minister of Justice, I'm going to fine-tune my personal motion because I wrote it already, and I will give him to put a private member's motion in Parliament so that everybody can have a gun.
Me say, on the put Marvin again at Parliament. And watch out the Jamaica
or something. But
put me in the Parliament. Put me in there. Put Marvin in there.
It can't be a case where every single time we are fret. All right, so me there with me there now. And when me ready for go my yard, me a fret for go my yard. But if me a piece of old lion pan me, no boy now come run up on me. A bus shot in him cloth, you see?
Hello, listen to me. Do you know how I feel when I sit and listen to foreigners when I was in Antigua this week? And I sat and listened to persons who wanted to come back home, who are scared of coming back home. Scared of coming back home. Huh? You know how me feel when me that Bahamas and talk to Jamaicans who want to come back in the yard for Christmas, but scared to come in the yard. But you know who are protected? Every politician. And guess what happened? Something the norm. Every important people in Jamaica who gets unalived, police, Gleaner lady, everybody. It doesn't take a week to solve that crime. It does not take a week to solve the crime and find the criminals who are responsible for unaliving important people in Jamaica. But we still have the common criminals who are unaliving how much hundreds of Jamaicans per day. But what they're protected by politicians who pay for their legal fees, who get them out and get them come back on the streets because them are we done. You think that our politicians don't know the criminals? Not until you put people like a Marvin Edgar in the parliament. They watch me. Because it's time for Jamaica to have a deliverer. Somebody who can deliver the people and stop playing anarchism with the people. Somebody who can make the justice fair across the board. When you did that call love up, Andrew let's then go home with how much police at night time. Yeah? Every MP go home with how much police and with them big old fat gun on them side. Them and their families are protected for life. And there is a rule in the street. Don't touch politicians. You never know someone law out there. You never know someone rule out there. Don't touch politicians. Every gunman know that. You don't touch police and you don't touch politicians. That is why when you do touch one of them, in a no time you find the criminals. I do not even know a street code. Let me tell you this, I don't know about nobody. Be a 40-year-old, 40. And I am sick and tired of watching how my Jamaican citizens are being treated. Every flipping year, you can mark the X right now. 1,500 Jamaicans will be unalived. Just put that in your head. Every year, 1,500 until we change the damn system. 1,500 unalived.
For me though, I think it's time. It's time we look at not just our legislation, but look at how we look at these particular types of crime, because the perpetrators who are doing these things they are cowards, because I don't like them to come face you and do what them do. Them come close to you and them squeeze to and them run off sort of thing. So they aren't even proper marksmen, you know, and that says a lot. But I personally believe that we need to look at how the FLA grants license firearm licensing to our citizens, because either we disarm our country or we arm our country. It's either or, because just last week or this week again, Andre, you remember how much gun they find? How much gun they find in a barrel?
It's only 52.
52 guns. So which means that either we cannot stop the importation of illegal guns, or we can mitigate against it, because people will always find a way to get gun. So if people always find a way to get gun, give everybody a gun then. So if I see Marvin in the streets and Marvin diss me, we do it like the Wild Wild West then. That's what it is. Because it cannot be a case where we can't live like this anymore. We're just afraid so. We're just afraid so.
No, I'm not afraid enough. I'm not afraid.
No,
I'm not afraid.
You can't afraid and not like I'm afraid of gun. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just the other day.
Then we would have to talk about serious legislation changes in the country when it comes on to gun access, because the way in which people it is so difficult to get a gun in this country.
Very
FLA, according to people, if you have your $1 million, you can't get a gun. So I don't know how you're going to get a gun.
What do you mean, Andre? Now have your $1 million? I know $1 million if you get it. A $1 million? Oh, okay.
Listen, everybody know what has been happening in Jamaica in every single sector in this country, with criminals and bureaucracies and pushing your hand under the table. Now, what has become of the case where over 200 illegal firearms were given from FLA to criminals? What happened to that case? You don't remember that case there? 200 guns were given to people who were not supposed to have it. 200. And people, there's a young man in Mandeville who have a car rental business, 9 cars. and he filed up a FLA last year for his firearm. Everything checked and everything balanced on paper. And you know what FLA tell them? They were not compelled enough for the young man to get him firearm. You know what happened 1 month later? When could I do? He couldn't know when time he see gunman them chain when they come thief in car. Come thief on him car. And he took out right loan from the bank, good loan, good legal businessman around. And him sit down there, we wait for the run out there with button. Run out there with button or run out there with the piece of paper from FLA say, you did not compel us enough to get a firearm. And that you think every Chinaman in Jamaica is protected. Every last one. Because them a run business.
But
Every white man in Jamaica is protected. Eh? Every government official is protected. But the ordinary citizens who are few little taxpayer money here or there come together and pay on a drunkro cannot be protected. Joe economic, man. Joe economic.
Because that is where we wrap up the show for tonight. That is where
Marvin said drunkro.
that's the show for tonight. But I thank you all for coming. As confirmed, another TikToker that goes by the name
Bossed
was murdered just now in Montego Bay. Another TikToker by the name of Bossed was murdered today since night. Join me tomorrow, students. I know that a lot of you are over here, but I'll be carrying the woman, Miss Marcia Lewis. Her situation is very bad. I will be going to her house tomorrow for you all to see the situation with Miss Lewis. So I'm asking you all, wow, this is horrific, Jamaica. Marvin probably have to go help me tomorrow after me go look for Miss Marcia. Miss Marcia situation. So I'll be going tomorrow. So just look out on social media. I think I'll go live from YouTube tomorrow. So I want everybody to be able to see her situation. And right there and then, I'll be carrying groceries and all of those things tomorrow. But, you know, her situation is beyond that. So, and then the other lady from Spanish Town, I'll meet with her tomorrow. Another gentleman reached out to me. I'll see what I can do for him because a student sent $20,000 today. So I'm going to do some groceries. Miss Almarie, she sent $20,000 for buy groceries for somebody. A gentleman reached out to me, a single father with, so I'm gonna make sure I get some groceries for him. Another lady reached out to me. She sponsored me 5 chickens. So between the 2 ladies and that gentleman, we'll see what we can do tomorrow and get some other meat items. And then the other lady with the empty fridge, where that reached out to. So in all, it's 4 persons thus far will be able to help. If others come, we'll see. But for now, it's only 4 persons, Jamaica. I'm in a position to assist. Thanks to all of the students. Tomorrow you will hear everything. You will hear the details. But for all of the students who have given contribution for the mother in Spanish Town and the lady in Bull Bay, tomorrow we'll sort that out. And then the next 2 persons, we'll see how we can sort them out. But thanks, Jamaica, for coming tonight. Thanks to you, Wildman. Thanks to Isaac Buchanan. Thanks to Ishmael Douglas. And thanks to the little fireman called Marvin Edgar. Thank you, Jamaica. Signing out tonight from PDTV News Jamaica. Good night, good night, good night.